Guys, we finished week 2 and some pretty crazy things actually happened. So in this video, it's going to be similar to my week 1 review. I'm going to go over kind of what I did well, some things I learned, and I'm also going to talk about how I closed a client and the details around that. All right, so I'll start off by talking about my client that I closed. So she's a woman in Montana, and she actually runs a biohazard company instead of water damage restoration. But I closed her for a $750 upfront fee. Where if I don't get her results within like the first month, I'll give her a half refund. So I got about $350 in my pocket, 100%, with the other $350 where I might be refunding it to her depending on whether I can actually get her results or not. So I also want to talk about just kind of my goals this week. So I didn't do as well, especially during the weekend. I actually kind of fell off. So after this happens to me a lot. What happens is I get a client or I get some sort of big achievement, and then I basically just stop doing the actual work. I didn't post on Friday. I kind of missed that day. I didn't do cold calls on Friday. That was also my little brother's birthday. And so for the morning, I was just trying to spend time with him. And so I didn't do any cold calls. And then one thing I've learned about myself is if I am not able to get anything done in the morning, I usually end up just wasting the entire day. So that was kind of that. Today, I'm also not going to go in as depth of kind of my goals for waking up and going to bed. Basically, I didn't do as good as last week. The first couple days I was able to wake up and go to bed on time, and then I kind of slowly just got later and later as I progressed through the week. And so next week I'm going to make sure I don't sleep through my alarm. Also, I've decided with not playing Brawl Stars and stuff, I'm still not going to do it if I haven't finished my work, but I kind of decided if there's a time when I basically am not doing anything else and I learned boredom is good for you, but there's sometimes where I just kind of wanted to like check it or whatever. And so I let myself do that. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I haven't been as strict as I was last week with it, but I also kind of decided that that's kind of useless a little bit, and I was basically just doing it for the challenge. But in real life, it doesn't actually help me like accomplish my goals any better. And so I'm still making sure I'm not playing it if I should be doing my other work, but I'm not also completely like banning myself from it either. So now some quick numbers. I have about like 44 subscribers on YouTube and like 22 followers on Instagram. So not very many, but like I said, I don't really care. If I get any of this challenge, is more just documenting my journey. So in the future, when I am successful, people can look back and see that I started from basically zero, you know? But I did about like 20 to 40 cold calls basically every day. I missed maybe one day. That's one thing. This week I'm going to try to do a little bit better today. And so I actually didn't do like any cold calls. I scheduled a meeting, which is nice. And that was actually a pretty good sales meeting. But I'm going to try to do at least 40, 50 cold calls a day and close another client. That's going to be my goal with 750 upfront and onboard my current client. Also last week with the sales calls, I actually had 2 no-shows again, but that didn't matter because I was able to schedule enough sales calls where those were 2 no-shows, but then that third one, the person showed up and I was able to actually close her. So no-shows are just part of the game. That's what I've learned, and you just need to make sure you do enough volume where you can account for those. But thank you so much for watching. Week 2 ended and week 3 started today. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. You can check out my Instagram and make sure to subscribe to see the journey.